Friends, welcome back to another Cardio and Consciousness. Today we answer an important question, and just a question we can ask for ourselves, and that is, have your beliefs, have your practices ended your suffering? I heard this question the other day, and I thought it was super fascinating, but if they have, put them down in the comments. Questions, concerns, we put them in the comments section. We chat together so we can make this more robust, fun experience while my heart rate elevates and we get to our steady heart rate. So get on your bike, get on your bike, your elliptical, your treadmill, do some jumping jacks, whatever you want to do. Sorry, my brain isn't working super well today. I'm quite tired, but we're gonna do this anyways, because it takes some work to make it work. Anyways, so have your beliefs, have your spiritual beliefs, have your personal beliefs, have they ended your suffering? Have your practices ended your suffering? I heard that question because that's what Buddha asked when these different religious leaders of the time were proclaiming that their religion was the one true religion, that their religion was the religion of God. And so Buddha said, well, that's all fine and well. You can have that, but have your beliefs and have your practices ended your suffering? Excuse me. What he was trying to convey to them is that they may have possessed some wisdom, may have possessed some knowledge, but had they had the personal experience with the divine, had they had the personal experience with themselves going inside, have they begun to recognize that within them there was a whole universe? Did they recognize the witness, the eternal observer of the experience? Right? The God force, the life force, the Godhead. Were they able to recognize that, or were they consistently keeping themselves separate from that experience? So I thought this would be a fun question and topic for us to all mull over together, seeing is that I think we all have this part of ourselves when life is not going right, or when we're trying to find meaning to life and whatever, and we're going through this displeasure. Right? Suffering is not always the perfect term when it comes to Buddhism. It's more of just this subtle discontentment, right? This ever-present discontentment when we talk about the true meaning of suffering, oftentimes in Buddhism. And so when we have this constant displeasure with life, this constant discontentment, what are the things that can bring us peace, that can bring us this equanimity, right? This steadiness of mind, and balance of heart? How can we allow our emotions to settle so that we can experience the robustness of this present moment, so that we can enjoy the bliss and the joy that exists right here, right now? It's not always easy. Today I had a difficult time of that myself. I was very tired. My brain did not want to fire. It was a rough day, as you guys will probably find. I can't find the words to certain things. I'm just having a tired day. And so in the midst of this tired day, I also had I had clients that were helping me with my curriculum, as I've been talking about the last few live videos we've done, the 4 immeasurables: loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy, and equanimity. We've talked about these, and so as I'm trying to convey these to you guys, because they seem to be touching my heart, practices that I need to be incorporating more of my daily life, the universe says, your wish is our command. So today my clients tested me for 10 hours on practicing loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy, not so much sympathetic joy, mostly compassion and equanimity. Did I succeed fully? Not even close. But did I do my best? Absolutely. I did the best I could today with what I had. So that's the practice, right? Sorry, my back itches. When we hear these things, we think we somehow need to just magically possess this beautiful strength and faith and equanimity and grace and love and compassion. But that is not the way that this world works. This world works I love the statement that when we ask for strength, does God give us strength? Just, here you go, here's strength. Or does God put you in situations that will help you get stronger? When you ask for faith, does God just give you faith? Here you go. Or does God put you in situations that will help you get stronger? For me, I've been wanting to practice loving kindness, compassion, equanimity. Today, the universe, my inner being said, you want to practice these? Here are your situations where you can incorporate those and get stronger with those. Did I get stronger? A little bit. A little teensy bit. My legs. Did I fully embody those? No. But that's the beauty of the practice. That is the beauty of these practices, is that we're not masters of them. And even if you are a master, guess what? You're still going to have to practice again and again with each situation that arises so that you can continue to cultivate more and more of these different characteristics, if you will, or these lessons of your soul curriculum. That is the beauty of having awareness, right? Having awareness, self-awareness, is this understanding that I do not have to be perfect all the time, right? My human behavior is balanced. My human behavior is both light and dark. It's joy and fear. It is love and anger. This is part of the dichotomy of being human. And that emotional state is the understanding of, am I now aligned with Source? Am I now aligned with my inner being in God? Or am I not in alignment? Easy peasy. As we continue to remember these things and we continue to practice them, what happens? We get better. Practice makes better. Does not make perfect. Practice makes better. So these are all practices that we can continue to incorporate in our daily lives so that we can continue on with our soul's curriculum, with the journey of our soul. But the question is, are your beliefs bringing you closer to the divine, to peace, to joy, or are your beliefs pushing you further away? That is the ultimate question that we want to ask ourselves. Are my beliefs bringing me closer to joy, closer to love, or are they pushing me further away? And you'll know that by if they're bringing you closer to compassion, to understanding, right? To loving kindness, to equanimity, to sympathetic joy. You will know that you are in alignment, that you are closer to your soul, to God, when you feel those things. Why? Because that's just the way that these things have been cultivated. That is the guidance system, the emotional guidance system. That's what has gotten us this far, and that's what's going to keep us on these beautiful paths. Emotional guidance system is fun. Let's go off on a tangent. The emotional guidance system is so powerful because every moment you have the opportunity to know exactly where you are in relationship to where you want to be by paying attention to your emotions. And not just your emotions, by recognizing the thought that coincides with the manifestation of the emotion. Right? When your emotion arises, that is a manifestation. It didn't just happen, it happened as a result of your state of mind. State of mind oftentimes can be influenced by your, for me, sleep, diet, exercise, interactions, all these things. But our state of mind can be easily influenced. The mind, the brain, the organ associated with the mind, it can be easily influenced by a multitude of factors, but particularly it can be influenced heavily by stress, which we always are going to have, right? Sleep, diet, and exercise. Those are huge factors in helping us have a steadiness of mind, having clarity of mind, and being able to make the right decisions. Because when we're tired, what tends to happen? Get a little grumpy, we become impatient. The brain is agitated because of the lack of sleep. And so that's a time when we can actually go even further into our practice and go, all right, recognize I am tired, so I'm going to have to work even harder at this point to feel that sense of balance within myself and to be more mindful of my emotions. It's an opportunity, not a test. This is where we kind of go awry. We think of things as tests, lessons, right? When I say the curriculum, it's not so much a test as it is these opportunities, right? A test, if you will, is an opportunity for spiritual growth, for spiritual awakening. Recognizing that, wow, okay, I can see that I am looking at this person in a negative viewpoint. I think they're entitled. I think that they don't have any spiritual understanding. I can see that they're self-indulgent. I can see that they're whatever. And then, if I'm truly being awake, if I'm truly aware, what I then recognize is, they're being a mirror to me. Right now, they are a mirror. I am getting what I am being. So instead of, just looking at people that way because you're tired, gain the awareness, register what's happening in your own mind, in your emotions, pay attention to the emotional guidance system, and then say, all right, I'm going to change this. I'm going to give you compassion. I'm going to extend grace. Right? I'm going to watch the thoughts that are running in my mind, the monkey mind. I'm going to watch them as they change so rapidly. But I'm going to observe my emotional state, and as the emotion changes, I will know how aligned or not aligned I am with my inner being. So this is the eternal practice. This is the practice. The reason we become liberated, enlightened, is because we have such present moment focus that we have the ability to recognize our thoughts in the midst of the chaos and the emotion in the midst of the chaos. It doesn't mean that we're robots. It doesn't mean that we don't have emotion. It means that we are liberated from the attachment to external circumstances being a particular way so that we experience joy, so that we experience bliss. That's what enlightenment is. I'm not an enlightened master, so I can't really speak on that. But I can tell you that the freedom you have when you begin to recognize that you don't need external circumstances to be a specific way for you to be joyful, for you to be happy, for you to be blissful, that's complete liberation. That's freedom. I no longer need the people to change. I no longer need my health to change. I no longer need my financial situation to change. I can experience bliss and joy in this present moment. And I don't need it to change. But I also know that as I change my perspective of how things are, as I accept what is, and I am eager for what is coming, that's liberation. I'm accepting fully this moment as it is. That person is being a specific way to me. My finances may not be the way I want them. My health may not be the way I want them. and that's okay. I accept fully what is happening, and I am eager. 15 minutes, we got to step up. I am eager for the change that comes about as a result of my change of mind. When I change my perspective, sorry, I got a wedgie. When I change my perspective, when I change my mind on how I am seeing this situation, the situation changes for me. You can call it Buddhism, you can call it law of attraction, you can call it New Age floofy. You can call it self-fulfilling prophecy in psychology. Whatever you want to call it, it is what it is. So we ask ourselves again, have my beliefs, have they ended my suffering? If not, that's okay. But it does mean that if my beliefs currently have not ended my suffering, wouldn't now be the time for me to change them, to begin to observe them when the time arises and begin to question, well, what are my beliefs? What are my beliefs in the nature of reality? What are my beliefs on the way that things should be? Stop shooting on yourself. What are your beliefs? What are your perspectives of nature of reality itself, of how things should be? And what are your practices to go inward so that you're able to stop requesting the outside circumstances to change for you to be happy, for you to feel the joy and the bliss that abound at all times around us and within us? It's a good question. It's not my question, it's Buddha's question, but it's a wonderful question because that leads us to going inward. What are my beliefs? What are my thoughts and perspectives on the nature of X? Do I truly believe in an eternal presence? Do I believe that I am a physical being, I'm a spiritual being, having a physical experience? Do I truly believe that I am an extension of that which we call God, of that which is the source itself, of infinite intelligence? Do I believe that I am an extension of that, and as a result of that, I am an eternal being having this momentary human physical experience? If you ask yourself that, that's a very deep question. If you want to make it even simpler, you just ask yourself repetitively, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? You write it down. Who am I? Write first thing that comes to you. Who am I? Write it down first thing that comes to you. There's a ton of practices that you could go through and find all these different ways of questioning your own beliefs, of questioning the way that you perceive the world. But the ultimate practice, the practice that will always lead you in the right direction because it's leading you inward, is meditation. I'm always going to suggest that we meditate because I personally know that every time I begin a disciplined meditation practice and I am consistent with it, and in the midst of the meditation, I'm able to focus on my breath and let go, everything in my life begins to change. My health begins to change, my relationships with others begin to change, my financial situations just get better and better and better. Sometimes they fall apart and then they get better. But at the end of the day, going inward is always the journey. It's never outward. It's never seeking to change this landscape. That will happen naturally as a result of the inward change that we begin to incorporate, this inward journey that we begin to go on. So that is the journey to liberation. That's the journey to freedom. That's the journey to end your suffering, to end your displeasure and discontentment with your daily life. This is the moment. I accept what is, and I am eager for what is coming. But I cannot know where I'm going if I don't know where I am. This is a huge part of the law of attraction teachings that we get lost in because we just want to go there. We just want to go there. Hell, you already know where you are, right? You feel it. But if you keep avoiding being in this spot right here, you got to feel it to heal it. If you keep avoiding feeling it, then the lesson, then the curriculum, then the opportunity for growth you're just going to keep bypassing, right? That's why they call it spiritual bypassing. I hate that term for some reason, but it is what it is. It is a process that we do because we just want to get away from here, and I want to go there, and I want to get away from here, and I want to go there. But the beauty in being a human being is accepting this point and going, right now, I am in San Francisco, and I can't help but be in San Francisco, and I really want to get to New York. So, in order to arrange my GPS coordinates, I have to know that I'm in San Francisco. And I just got to accept it. That's okay. It's part of my journey at this moment. I'm right here in San Francisco. And as I have clear focus and clear perspective on getting to New York, I will have the map laid out for me, and all I have to do is follow it. My GPS system, my emotional guidance system, will guide me along the way to getting to New York. But if I just decide to bypass that GPS system when it says go right, and I miss, okay, redirecting, take a left on Johnson Street, and I go, I'm gonna find it my own way. Beautiful. You are allowed to take that journey on your own and see where it takes you. That's super fun. But if it doesn't get you to New York as fast as you'd like, that's okay too. You just have to get back on the path, and the path is the emotions, right? The emotional guidance system. Acknowledging my emotions and acknowledging the thoughts that arise from, or the thoughts that give rise to the emotions, and then changing the thoughts. Beauty of changing the thought, or in meditation, or a mindfulness practice, is that as I release my mind, as I release thought, I naturally get back on course. As I let go of the thought, right? I'm sick. They've diagnosed me with this. I'm sick. As I release the being sick, because it feels bad to be sick, even though it feels comfortable because I've practiced it for so long, I know here that it's not right. Then I can redirect, get back on the path, let go. Go out in nature. Walk in nature for 20 minutes. Take a walk. Turn off all electronics. Pet your dog. Pet your cat. Pet your animals. Spend 10 minutes talking with your loved one, your intimate partnership, your kids, your parents, whoever it is. Meditate. Listen to music with your eyes closed. Don't change the song. Listen to it. Feel the vibration. Listen to an uplifting piece of music. Immediately, what happens? You get back on the path. You are automatically brought back on the path. That is the beauty of the stream of well-being. We look in nature, we see that the trees continually grow. The grass grows. Heck, even those weeds, man. Those weeds grow like crazy. The fruit, the trees bear fruit. The plants bear fruit. Nature has this infinite life source, this chi, prana, Tao. Nature has whatever you want to call it. And you are an extension of that. And because you are an extension of that, that source wants to get you as close to your inner being, because that is your inner being, as possible. Your body, it's harder to be in resistance than it is to be in allowance, right? It's harder to be in resistance of your inner being, of spirit, than it is to be in alignment with your inner being and with spirit. The reason is because as you let go fully, we automatically align with spirit. We automatically align the life force to run through us, to flow freely through us. As we allow that life force to flow freely through us, we're in complete alignment. Things that we want show up in a very quick time. Health, relationships, money, anything. But what keeps us in resistance is the ideas in our head. And those ideas translate into words, they translate into behaviors, and they translate into beliefs, right? Those thoughts become beliefs. And so, as I begin to think that people just are against me, I'll never have what I want. I'll never be with that person. I'll never be healthy again. When we have that belief, that is a harder belief, even though the world, the external world, may have shown that to you. That is a harder belief to hold then in letting go through a meditative or mindfulness practice and allowing source and your inner being to flow freely through you so that the manifestation of what it is that you desire shows up. You just have to let go. That's the beautiful piece of surrender, right? Coming back to the beliefs. Have your beliefs ended your suffering? If you're watching this video, they probably haven't. And so, when are you going to change those beliefs? When are you going to surrender those beliefs and say, you know what, enough's enough. It's not serving me anymore. I need to surrender to that infinite intelligence, to that life force energy that is constantly wanting to move through me, that is communicating with every single cell that I have, every single tissue, every single cell, every single atom, animates every single atom. When am I going to surrender to that and say, I trust you so fully, even though maybe in the past I haven't gotten what I wanted, but I'm going to surrender to you so fully that I know that my desire has no choice but to manifest because you want that for me. What I seek is seeking me. But we have to surrender to our beliefs, right? We have to surrender our beliefs to whatever it is that you believe in. Source, God, Tao, Chi, Prana, infinite intelligence, nature. Surrender those old, worn out beliefs that keep playing the same tunes over and over again that you are so tired and sick of hearing. Surrender them to the universe and say, I am going to work right now on changing the way I perceive the world. Not for the world, not for me, for all of us, right? As one candle is lit, can light 1,000 others without that flame going out. So, that is what we must do. The wind is outside in the garage. Have your beliefs ended your suffering? For me, I still have some old beliefs, personally. I still have some old beliefs that do not serve me, such as I have to earn my manifestations. It's a big one. The worthiness seems to be fading, right? This desire, this feelings of unworthiness. Who am I to share a message? Who am I to get what I want? Who am I? Well, I, just like you, am an extension of source energy. I'm an infinite intelligent being playing my role as this human body that may be quite sexy, if I do say so myself, that you see before you. Right? Hello, ego. But we have different beliefs. Are those beliefs serving us? If not, I've got to surrender that. I've got to surrender my belief of not being enough, of having to earn whatever it is that I think I need to earn, or I've got to do it, I've got to work for it. Maybe I just need to surrender to it and allow that flow of infinite intelligence, of wisdom, to move me and practice Wu Wei, right? Wu Wei, effortless action. Maybe I have to surrender and say, you know what? It feels better to look for compassion within another person. It feels better to extend loving kindness, to want all beings to be happy. It feels better to root somebody on and practice sympathetic joy. It feels better to practice this beautiful, even steadiness of mind because I can see that all things are working out for me. When I can do that, I'm free, I'm liberated. We've achieved enlightenment. But that is the practice. That is the only way we will really end our suffering, is the journey inward. We cannot ask for these things around us to change. Can't even ask for our bodies to change. The body will always change. Everything around us will always change. Life is impermanent. As soon as we accept the impermanent nature of this physical reality, the dualistic nature of life and death, black and white, good and bad, as soon as we accept that and we step out from it and we say, even though that this is the dualistic nature of reality, I'm going to enjoy it and see the bliss and joy, satisfaction that abound around me and within me at all times, then we've achieved true liberation, true freedom, and true enlightenment. And that, my friends, is how we're going to end it today. We've made it. We've got our 30 minutes. I hope you did your cardio with me. We had a good time. I appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you so much. I love you. Now we stop our watches. We stop the bike. We had a good time. A good time was had by all. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. Throw in your comments, questions, and concerns down below. I like to hear your feedback on how you've achieved freedom from your beliefs, all right? I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Until our next video, you are safe, you are loved, you are protected, and you are worthy. That is the promise of Spirit. That is the promise of the council from them through me to you. I love you guys. Until our next video, until Thursday, be well, my friends. Bye.